Let's keep it simple. This is 5 anime like Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 1, Ushio and Tora. Our protagonist is Ushio, and like many other anime protagonists, he really just wants to live a normal teenage life. However, this is easier said than done since his father is the lone priest of a temple. Due to this, Ushio was told numerous different ghost stories while growing up, and most of these stories had to do with fictional creatures known as yokai. Though one day, while doing his chores, Ushio stumbles into a cellar where he finds a not-so-fictional yokai named Tora impaled by a spear and pinned to the wall. Of course, Ushio is not dumb enough to free this monster, that is, until his friends are in danger and he is left with no other choice. Ushio reluctantly frees Tora, who quickly saves the day, but the legendary beast spear is the only thing preventing Tora from ripping him to shreds. You never could have guessed it, but Ushio and Tora follows Ushio and Tora, as they battle against numerous different yokai, all the while steadily hating each other less and less. This anime is like Jujutsu Kaisen in the monster-to-human relationship. Now, Sukuna and Yuji share one body, while Ushio and Tora do not. But in both anime, the monsters really just want to go on a rampage, and it's the human's job to keep them in line. So it's not 100% the same, but it results in a lot of similar situations and interactions. Personally, I slept on this anime for quite a while, and I really shouldn't have. Ushio and Tora is downright amazing, and is honestly one of the very few anime that I would consider underrated. If you are a classic shonen lover, then get ready for this. Number 2, Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan. The Nura clan is a prestigious group of yokai, which is currently being led by the very old and legendary Nura Rihyan. Due to his age, Nura Rihyan is looking to pass the clan onto the next in line, which happens to be his grandson, Riku Nura. Riku has grown up part human, part yokai, but at the current time, he is choosing to reject his yokai heritage in favor of living a human life. One day, while exploring an abandoned building with some classmates, he is attacked by yokai from a rival faction, but luckily enough, his own clan was nearby and came to his rescue. The question is, how long will Riku continue to reject his true heritage whenever his friends and loved ones are constantly being targeted by evil yokai? Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan, is similar to Jujutsu Kaisen in the shonen elements and the part human, part monster protagonist. Personally, I wasn't feeling this anime, but that's primarily due to it giving off heavy shonen vibes, and honestly, I'm just not super into shonen anime anymore. I'm not saying it's bad, it just wasn't for me. However, if you like the feel of your typical coming-of-age shonen anime, then this one will be right up your alley. If you are wondering where the girl on the thumbnail came from, well, it's here. Number 3, Inspector. In this world, yokai are not always evil, and sometimes they just need to peacefully communicate with humans, and this is why an 11-year-old girl named Kotoko was abducted by yokai. The yokai just wanted Kotoko to become a mediator between their two worlds, to which she quickly agreed, becoming their god of wisdom at the low cost of her left leg and right eye. Now, even though she is constantly surrounded by the supernatural, Kotoko is still a human girl at her core, and her crush Kuro has finally broken up with his long-term girlfriend. Kotoko seizes an opportunity to befriend Kuro, and they begin dating shortly after. Kuro even goes as far to begin helping her mediate the problems between the humans and the yokai. Everything is going almost too well, but Kotoko can't help but feel like Kuro is hiding something from her, and it's almost as if he's not entirely human. This anime follows Kotoko and Kuro as they take on increasingly difficult and dangerous yokai, while slowly growing closer themselves. Now, Inspector is like Jujutsu Kaisen due to the humans battling against evil yokai. Plus, there is the not-so-human Kuro, which is of course similar to the not-so-human Yuji. This is a fairly new anime, which I have not finished, but I have very much enjoyed the few episodes I've watched. The main girl is hella cute, and the story is interesting enough on its own. So no, I don't know how this anime turns out, but I'd still recommend you give it a try. This anime is definitely the outlier of the list, but hear me out. Number 4, Kamisama Kiss. Nanami Momozono is currently homeless due to her sorry excuse of a father not paying back his debts. Since she has nowhere else to go, Nanami wanders into the park where she meets an eccentric man named Mikage who kindly offers her a place to stay the night. This guy does seem kind of sketch, but she has little to no choice but to accept the offer. Upon arrival, she finds out that his home is actually a shrine, and Mikage was actually an earth deity, and unbeknownst to Nanami, she has just become the newest earth deity in his place. As she begins her earth deity duties, she quickly realizes that she could really use an assistant, especially if she doesn't want to become yokai food. Thus, the adventures of Nanami and her handsome fox familiar named Tomoe begins. Kamisama Kiss made the list because Nanami is a human and a deity, which is kinda sorta similar to Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, who is human and demon. Plus, both anime involve battles against not-so-friendly monsters. No, this anime won't be for everyone, as it's very much a shoujo, but don't let that put you off, as it's actually pretty good. I don't watch a lot of shoujo, but Kamisama Kiss reminded me a lot of the anime Maid-sama, but with the supernatural yokai setting. If this sounds interesting at all to you, then don't hesitate to try out Kamisama Kiss. Now then, the anime all of you were expecting. Number 5, Blue Exorcist. Rin Okumura and his brother Yukio were both orphaned at a young age and ended up being raised by Shiro Fujimoto at a church. Now Yukio is your picture-perfect child, while Rin on the other hand tends to be more of a troublemaker. One night, while playing with some friends, Rin discovers that demons are real, and that he himself turns out to be the direct descendant of the king of the underworld, aka Satan. This is also around the same time that Rin learns that his brother Yukio has known about demons for a while now, and is actually a full-blown exorcist right alongside their adopted father Shiro. Now, some feel-bad stuff happens, and then Satan arrives to try and forcefully drag Rin back to the underworld. Luckily for Rin, Shiro is an unbelievably powerful exorcist, but unluckily for Shiro, he has to sacrifice himself to keep Satan at bay. Blue Exorcist follows Rin as he attends True Cross Academy in order to become an official exorcist like his father Shiro. This anime is like Jujutsu Kaisen due to their protagonist. Rin and Yuji each have one foot in the world of humans and one foot in the world of demons. Now, there is one beginning to this anime, but two different endings. Originally, the anime caught up to the manga, so they had to make an anime-only ending for the original Blue Exorcist anime. Then years later, they went back and made another adaptation following the manga named Blue Exorcist Kyoto Saga. Now, I don't remember exactly what episode Kyoto Saga begins, so you will have to do that research yourself. Personally, I've watched both endings, and they are both equally good. Hey, would you look at that? My patron changed his name to something I can actually say on camera, so a big shout out to Fyrex726. If you would like to support the channel and get your name on screen, be sure to visit my Patreon, link down below. Thanks for watching everyone, and I hope to see you next time.